This is the Jerkmonger. I'm coming at you. I'm going to be doing some drawing here. I'm getting my studio set up for the event, just to let you guys know. And I see there's nobody here right now, so I'm going to start asking you guys, when you guys start coming in, what questions you might have. I want to kind of open this up with questions, a little bit of Q&A. Excuse me while I start up my studio situation here. So anyway, if you have any questions or any thoughts or concerns, by all means ask. I'm happy to indulge in that sort of activity. And all right, very cool. So I got my chat up right now. I got my video up, so I'm ready for you guys. So like I said, I'm going to be working on some Lobo stuff today. It's pretty much just a desire of my own. I like Lobo a lot, and I can't tell you exactly what books and everything, blah blah blah. I just remember the one cover where he's his guy's back to you when it says Lobo's back. That's my heart thing. Other than that, man, it's just me just kind of hanging out with you guys. So if you guys want to ask any questions, I'm starting off with about 1 minute and 20 seconds in, and if you have any questions about some of the art that I do or how I work or whatever, now's a good time to ask. I'll do my best to answer the questions as they come up. IG runs it hour, and now you jumping on here. Yes. IG runs its hour, and then yeah, pretty much that's kind of what I'm doing for a little while at least. Eventually, I want to use this for my commissions, and then when I'm doing some other things, I can do some of that on Instagram. But as of right now, this is kind of where I'm going to be landing. So all right, so if there's not any more questions that I need to answer right away, I want to get back into the art, because that's kind of like the most important thing for me, to get this art done. I have my other thing here set up so I can answer your questions that way. Please feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer whatever I can, but I wish I could put up something. I wish I could put a little border here that showed like some frequently asked questions and answers to those, but we'll be fine. So you guys feel free to comment and ask away. I'm going to flip this around now. All right. Let's see if I can get this set up here without breaking anything. All right. Can you guys see that okay? I might zoom in a little bit for the sake of love. There we go. There we go. What's up, Art of E Paradise? I'm gonna clean up my space a little bit so you guys get the most benefit from this situation. Can you guys see okay? All the art, the art that I'm displaying here. Let's see. I'm gonna shift some light back over to this. All right. So the main man, yes sir. Thank you, Crusher. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm going through. And I have music really low in the background for myself, just to keep myself from going silence deaf. So I'm kind of painting in some of the shapes to kind of indicate the dreads that this 90s version of Lobo, which is my favorite version. I like him with the dreadlocks. It's funny, someone said it on IG like it was possibly a negative, but I don't care. I like this version of it. I don't think there's ever been a better version of him, frankly. I do have a bottle of water here I'll be drinking from time to time. I have a little bit of heartburn, I think, from the weird breakfast that I had. So, yeah. Looks like I got a couple people hanging in there. So I I apologize. I left my glasses in my bag, so I neglected to grab them before I started the show. But I kind of want to. And I'm probably not going to be on as long. I noticed that the longer I'm on, sometimes it could be a little exhausting, right? So I'm going to kind of just keep the amount of time I spend on in chunks. So I will probably cut myself off a little bit and start over again. And it's not like we have something specific to discuss or anything like that, right? I guess I can leave it up to you guys if you guys wanted me to keep going or whatever. So I'm thinking of these dreadlocks in Lobo's hair, kind of the way I approach regular hair, but with less feathering. I'm more kind of trying to carve out these black shapes out of the white, give it almost look like links, so they look clumps of the hair matted together, is what dreads tend to be, right? So this way I can, it still feels like hair, but it's either that or you black it all out, and I don't like doing that necessarily for some of my stuff. I don't know if you guys dig it or not. So while you guys are here, please, 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 if you like what you're seeing and someone sent you over here or you saw me on Instagram post about it, feel free. Like I said, I'm going to be spending a lot more time here on YouTube. If nothing else, for at least to do videos and then put them up. Go ahead and, if you want to, subscribe to my channel. And while you're here, ask questions while you're here. Things that maybe, if you're an artist and maybe you've been trying to work on certain things and techniques, and I can do my best to answer them here. It's not always easy to do it while I'm working on something else, but if I have to, I'll take a break and I'll show you guys something as it relates to that. Christine, good, welcome, and thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. So ring that bell also after you subscribe so you can get notifications. By any chance, does your brush pen have English writing? Because mine is in Japanese. Mine is in Japanese as well. I will tell you if you have any questions about the tool. I can answer most questions, I think, effectively. If you're worried about how to use it or whatever. And I'll also say that I don't know if you know about the difference between the gray and the black barrels. They're different. I have a bit of a delay here on my computer, so I don't know if I'm answering your questions in time or not. I really want another one, but I don't know which one I got. Okay, so this, oh, I see what you're saying. Are you talking about the brush itself? I think they go in terms of medium and small, like that. And there might be another way to talk about. So they have different caps. You really want to go by the cap color. It depends on what you're looking for. I can show you that real quick here. Hold on. Let me just do a little more here. These come in different cap colors. They also come with different color barrels. Now the barrels are important because the ink in this gray barrel is actually more of like an India ink to some degree. Mr. Nolan, how you doing, man? Let me show you my other ones. Here they are. These are some of the other ones. There's the traditional black cap, which is like your medium cap. The clear one is like a fine point. The blue one is also fine point, but I think the gray one's a little longer. The bristles are a little longer. And then finally, the one I really like, but this one's already kind of busted. I've used it enough. Is the green barrel. So the green barrel is your larger bristles. It's almost like using like between a 6 and an 8 kind of brush, maybe larger than that. Like I said before, here's the fine line I'm just making sure I have ink in there. Fine line for fine point, if you will. The fine brush. More like a one, like a two. This is also, one's longer than the other. I think the gray, the clear is longer, and then the black one is medium. So the reason why I say that, hey guys, how you doing? Does it smudge when you use Copics over it? I think it does. But I don't use Copics. The other thing is though, this stuff actually probably doesn't as much as I think. I haven't tried it in a while because I don't use Copics. But you can, you know, I'll try it out though. Maybe I can do that for you guys. Well, I don't really have any Copics around me, so I can't try it out. So yeah, if you want the solid black one, that's the most common one. And of course, you gotta, you know, squeeze. You know, just squeeze a little bit to get the ink flowing again. The solid black one's your medium tip. It's more like a 4 or 5 brush. It just depends on the kind of what you're trying to accomplish. They are waterproof. They're calligraphy brushes. They are intended to bleed when wet. Not these, Nolan. These don't bleed when they're wet. They don't actually at all, or much at all. The black barrels bleed. That's why you gotta be careful which ones you buy. Yeah, so let's see, this one's real nice. I've been using this one, I think, mostly lately, so it's already... So around his hand and his thumb here, I'm going to go ahead and use darker shapes. Pretty much not going to make much distinction between his hand and the... Yours do? I use them for washes. The gray barrel? This gray barrel? This is the waterproof one. The black barrels definitely bleed. Art of Paradise. Yeah, I use Prismacolor markers and it smudges on the black ink. Also, Copic marker smudge. Yeah, I don't like using Copics at all. Also, they do recommend on some of these things that some people don't spend enough time letting these things dry. And even if they're dry, they're not quite dry. You have to let them kind of... I use the word bake sometimes, but I just learned that recently on some information I gathered. That some of these require a little more time to cure. So even though they're dry to the touch, they may not be dry completely. Something to think about. Yep, Pentel brush pen. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead now and start inking other parts. So for those of you who might be curious, this is what I would consider my cover quality approach to my work. I have different styles that I work in depending on the budget that I'm working in. Brush pens is rarely available in Bangladesh. Have you tried, and this sounds like a silly question, but some people don't have access to Amazon either. do you have access to Amazon? And if you do, that's where I would order it from. That's where I buy mine from, at least. I like to smack my teeth together sometimes. Kind of a weird bad habit, but it is what it is. Go traditional. Yeah, you could do that too. It's true. These are really, I use them a lot. But they're mostly helpful when I go on to conventions or on trips. That's when I get the most benefit out of them. So it's not crucial to have them. And to be perfectly honest, regular brushes do the job just fine as well. Something I'm kind of playing with the way I ink. I like the way a lot of old inkers, I obviously I kind of borrow my style from classic comic artists, and I like these thick, heavy, bold lines. I'm going to do this more often. Siam says he do that, but I already bought from Amazon. Okay. All right. There you go. And I'm only using those heavy lines on the outside of the shapes. So like, you know, throw a nice big fat black line there. Bam! And let's see. The idea is so that I'm not going over my lines 2 or 3 times. Except in the interior of the shape or the form. I'm going to stop inking around this area shortly because I didn't finish drawing his hand or who the character is there. It's clearly Batman, but so I don't want to do too much rough drawing with the brush. I can, I just don't want to. I want this to look tight. Let's see. So not bad, not bad. A lot of it is just kind of where I place everything, you know? So, okay, so like, let's say under the neck again. Make sure things are dry. I think I'm going to move over this area for a second. I think I'll go this way instead. How about that? That way I can keep working while I'm letting everything dry. I don't want to smudge it with my arm. Isaac says, what commissions do I have coming up? I'm working on another, I got several for X-Men stuff, and that's this right here. I'm trying to create some stuff that I can sell. In that time of the cycle, my monthly cycle, where I need to make some extra money, and that's kind of where my head is at right now. So I had to pause my commissions for a minute just so I can create some new stuff that I can try to sell to people on Instagram or wherever. I'm getting a store going. I'm gonna have some of that. It's actually almost up. It'll be up probably the next couple days, and you'll be able to buy a lot of the stuff there. Give people a chance to buy it from me directly, and then, but if you buy it from the store, it'll have a different cost associated with it. So, all right, Nolan, be good, man. Okay, this stuff is probably dry now. I can leave my hand down here again. And I also have to finish up a Spawn commission. I did the first part of it. I just need to wrap up the rest of it. It's supposed to be 3 panels, 11 by 17. Okay, check my text later. All right, man. Take another sip of water here. See, I'm kind of drawing in here, but that's all right. I don't like to do that too often. It's the minor spot here. Not a big deal. All right, so you guys are awfully quiet. I must have said something wrong. I don't know what I said. What did I say? So that's everything you have up for sale. Oh, what's up, Mike? It's gonna be stuff that I've had in my art book for a while, and hopefully it'll be a couple of new pieces. That red skull I just did is gonna be in there, unless somebody buys it from me directly. Again, hoping that people will come by anyway, so try to make it a reason to go. They've already gone to the to my man Andy, so he can start loading them up into the store. He ships them for me anyway, so. Speaking of shipping, Mike, I gotta send out that thing for your daughter, man. I apologize. Oh, it's too late now. She's already up in New York, right? Well, if you want, you can send me the address to send it to, and I can send it to her. She's not happy in the cold at all. How's your wife doing, man? She must have been happy to see the baby. Enjoying the inking process, Swaff Rap? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. This is where you start to realize that maybe one of the things I don't do enough of, I have to admit, is planning the spotting of my blacks. If I had done more of that before I started this one, I probably would have made different choices about what I would have gone after and what lines I would have inked, just because I would know, okay, this is going to be blacked out, okay, oh, this is going to be this, or whatever. So it's something you should really consider when you're doing your inking, that you put a little energy into like where you want to ink this. Maybe put some tracing paper over it and just start fool around with it, see where you want to put your black, so you don't have to waste any time. Like there's a bunch of stuff I spent time, even this little spot here, I'm blacking it out now because I want there to be a little more division between his arm and forearm and stuff. So JS says, hi, what did I miss? Not much. I'm just inking this part of Lobo so far. I've gotten this, I haven't gotten too far. You haven't missed much. I mean, there's a lot gone on so far, but I mean, it's not enough that you can't jump back on. So yeah, I'm gonna Squeeze, pump that a little bit to get a little more ink flow. Anyone there? Anyone? Did you not hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? Why do I use blue pencil on rough sketch instead of regular? Because regular, it's kind of a long story, but the regular pencil for me, when I'm drawing, I like to feel like maybe there's still a little bit of, mutability. Mutability meaning opportunity for adjustment and change. It's still changeable. If I go into with a pencil, regular pencil, it darkens up the page too much, and I feel like I can't see it still like in a raw form, so it affects the way I see the art. This is a personal thing, really. And it gives me a little bit of, it makes my work feel a little claustrophobic, if that makes any sense. I think this right here could just be black. Yeah, I don't like that. So it feels like a larger arm. Alright. Let me do a little tooth work here. That's not a bad grill. I'll black this out a little more too. Just creating some hatching in there. Ink is another skill set for an artist. Thus, I admire your work. Thank you, Alfred. I appreciate that. It's I've been hearing that a lot lately. Someone commented on my work recently, and they said they didn't even mention the way I draw. They commented on the way I ink, which is really weird because I didn't start off as an inker. I wouldn't even consider myself really an inker. I really feel like I draw better than I ink, but I guess, I do ink my work, so maybe that's creating a challenge, I guess, in that way. Didn't expect it. Can you draw Miguel from the movie Coco? I probably could draw him, but I probably won't draw him. I only draw things that I can either sell or are part of a commission. As far as these live streams and stuff like that. Just I don't have a lot of time right now. I got a lot of bills to pay, so I'm trying the best I can to kind of I can only focus on things I know I can sell. Lafayette, what's up? Saw Black Panther. It was okay. Oh, really? You thought it was only okay, huh? Oh, that's interesting. Without going into spoilers, why is that? It's like right here, his face. I'm gonna black it out here so you can see his face clearer. Now I'm curious. Ooh. Draw me. I'll sell to me, so it's more of a one-off. You're so silly. You're still as silly as ever. Oh Lord! All right, let me grab another tool. What did I do with my other set? Oh, it's in my bag. Hold on, guys. I gotta get my bag. Give me like 2 seconds. Well, more than 2 seconds. More like 30 seconds. Hold on. See, less than 30 seconds. Try to keep it so that I don't ruin your guys' expectations. So yeah, Lafayette, I want to hear. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm actually liking it more and more. The name of this character is Lobo. It's from DC Comics. There we go. I don't like what I just did here, though. Kristen says, "Oh man, I saw Thor Ragnarok a few nights ago. The movie was hilarious. I'm surprised I liked it." Oh, Christine, rather. I think it's Christine, right? I loved it. Loved Thor Ragnarok. That's probably my favorite Marvel movie right now. Black Panther's definitely growing on me, and Lafayette says, the best part was the non-superhero parts. The villain-hero plot was generic and predictable. The movie should have been about tribal politics, struggle over the vibranium, and just not the portrayal of women from this than Wonder Woman. Really? I thought Wonder Woman was fine. I don't know why everybody's... I don't understand that. I do not understand that. Oh well. It's not for me to understand. Okay, let's see. Another thing I'm going to do here is create a bit of a vascular, as people like to call it. That's what it is, but talking like it's something else. All right. What are my favorite cartoon characters? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't think I can answer that right now. Because I don't, are there any cartoons that I watch now? I like a lot of the fun young cartoons, like on, the stuff I see like on Nick. Pretty cool. Some Disney XD shows are fun. Let's see. How Killmonger, living in Wakanda, is plotting from inside to take over by acquiring the Black Panther power. See, same movie but way more intriguing and less generic plot points. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with all that. Lafayette, but I guess so. I guess I can see where you're coming from. Anyway, what was that you said? Like what I laughed at how the UN belittled Wakanda? Well, I mean, it's understandable why the guy asked what can they possibly offer, because they've been considered a third world nation the whole time. They've been secretive about it. So it's not like it wasn't a racist thing. It just literally said, how can a small country like you that can barely afford to stay alive help anybody else out? So for me, that wasn't I mean, it was humorous, I guess, but it wasn't that humorous to me because I didn't understand why. Again, because of what I just described. I don't know. But we're not supposed to give any spoilers here, by the way. Imagine Killmonger seeing his father killed and taken to Wakanda against his will and being raised like Loki. Thor premise. Talking about the technology, getting that up. Yeah, cool. Somebody else challenged me on that too, and not challenged me, but they were questioning me on that. I'm like, yeah, it just seemed like a little weird that it was so different. I think I don't know if I said this yesterday, but I remember thinking, man, even Guardians of the Galaxy technology seemed more utilitarian and more earthbound, and maybe that's a flaw in the design. I guess their designs, maybe they need to be a little more weird. But I don't know, anything from Earth I don't expect to be that advanced or that. I mean, I understand that Wakanda's an advanced society. I just didn't get it. Not saw or read in DC empowering them. Wait, VP empowers Africans, either Americans or not. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I care about all that, to be honest. I'm not interested in empowering anybody. I feel like everyone's empowered when you're a superhero. I don't necessarily buy that. But then again, I don't think that's anyone's responsibility to empower anybody, but goodbye, Jayesh, TK. I like characters that are empowering. Not that they empower me specifically, but that they're empowering. Batman's an empowering character. Go do something. Go face your demons. Like, I'm empowered by Black Panther. I feel empowered by that. And I'm Puerto Rican. And everybody hates Puerto Ricans. All right. Lafayette says, I would have liked a more in-depth story of T'Challa as king with Killmonger by his side, knowing who killed his father, waiting to strike with rival tribes by his side, more people country. Gosh, Lafayette, you just want more Kevin Nolan. Or not Kevin Nolan, Christopher Nolan. That's what you want. That sounds like a boring movie to me. Superheroes fight. Wait. That sounds like episode 1 of Star Wars. I don't know. I don't go to these movies for Shakespeare. I go to them just for fun. So I guess that's what I want. I want less superhero in my superhero movies. Okay. I want less love in my love stories and less horror in my horror stories. And I sure as hell don't want any more action in my action stories. So we're going to just call it a day. Goodbye. Goodbye, Hollywood. I'm done with you. If I see one more cowboy in a cowboy movie, I'm leaving. I'm leaving the country. Okay. You know I'm messing with you, brother. I'm still trying to think about this guy here. How's this coming along? You feel good about this at all? I'm liking it. You're so nasty, Lafayette. It's like, it's true in the comics. It's so funny because that's how I feel like everybody's angry at the comics for being comic books, and I'm like, well, that's what they are. Why are we so mad at them? Stop being mad at comics. Control yourself. All right, so I'm gonna start inking Batman because he's in the foreground. That way I can comfortably ink everything else. Man, this thing's killing me. There's a little slight little hair on the end of this thing. I need the scissors. Can I get it? Okay, we'll see. CGI rhinos. I didn't mind the rhinos either. I don't know, man. One of the things I thought about Lafayette when I was watching it. Again, I'm really starting to like it more. Like the more I think about it, the more I remember it. I'm enjoying it more. One of the things that I thought of that helped me a lot was, and I had to, especially with that technology. If I thought about it like Eternia, like this wasn't really on Earth. It was like an attorney in another world. Once I gave it like a John Carter context in my head, the only downside is that it's not John Carter. That's the problem with the movie, as far as that beef that I have, with that criticism. It's not really a beef; it's a criticism. And once I decided that that's what it was, then I was like, oh, okay. I was free to enjoy it in a different way. In regards to that, but it kept coming back to me. I kept thinking, what? And yeah, whatever that means, I guess. The females were awesome, and like I said, there's a lot of great things. The acting was awesome. I thought that was super good. Despite what you think, Lafayette, I thought the plot was tight. It was a more complex film than usual. It's not complex enough for you, Mr. I hate action in my action movies. That's it. From now on, that's all you are, man. You're just an angry film man. You change your name from Lafayette to Angry Film Guy. Okay, I'm going to Okay, so I'm adding my heavy dose of black on Batman. It'll create a big contrast between he and Lobo. It doesn't add up is because what does vibranium actually do? Is it a mineral, a power source? How is Wakanda rich source? Rich since it's hiding. How does the government function, make money? I totally with you on that. I had the same thoughts. Like if it's just an ore, right? Some sort of space ore. That's why I jokingly said, did it come with some sort of instructions on how to make spaceships with it? Because somebody challenged me and said, oh, but they're geniuses. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it seems like a lot. Yeah. And then to your point, Lafayette, if in 1992, again, no spoilers, if the technology was the same in 1992, then even more so I have to ask the question, has there been any adjustments? I mean, why haven't they grown since then? It's almost like they kind of, I mean, I get it. Look, we're really nitpicking this movie. The movie was fine. You know, I really do enjoy it, and I want to see more of it. But to say that geniuses, I know. Somebody was all about that the other day. And I kept saying, yeah, but just because you're a genius doesn't mean you know how to design, to make that look that way. Maybe, you know. And then not only that, but who designed everything prior to their current science engineer, head of science engineering or whatever? I don't want to give anything away. So it left me with a lot of those kinds of like, okay, but again, those are very nitpicky plot conversations that they don't have to be asked. Only I do. I'm like, wait a second. And the only reason why I ask those questions is because all these movies make me ask questions like that now. That's the main set of the movie. It comes down to the vibranium. It looked like Japan 3000. Japan 3000. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Man, I cut one little hair, and all of a sudden this brush doesn't want to act right no more. Okay. Hopefully that helped. You're right though. It is more than just a minor plot point, right? But it's not one I need to dwell on. I mean, I've forgiven a lot less in the past. So it's all good. That's why I loved Ragnarok so much, because it was such a smooth, like, just enjoy it for what it is. Nobody's asking any questions. Just shut it all down, shut your brain down, and just have a good time. And that's important to me now. I don't need to, I don't want to debate. I don't know. Again, that's some of the point of the movie, though. They want you to debate. And that's fine. It's just sometimes those kinds of points come up when you make a movie. I said this the other day. So when you make a movie, that's why I don't like the Batman movies so much, because they went so far as to explain so much, and they left me with a bunch of these questions that, well, okay, then if that's true, then why does he wear a cape and a bat suit? It doesn't make any sense. All right, you can't make a sequel because, like the Iron Man flicks, everyone wants Stark technology, and that's all Black Panther plots will be about. It's either vibranium or overthrow the throne. Yeah, you're kind of right. You're kind of right there, because that's why I asked the question, like, what happens to the world when, now that they've oops, don't want to say nothing, but you've got to ask that question now. How does that affect the reality of the of the Marvel universe in the cinematic universe? Right? That creates a lot of problems now, or limitations. Ironically, Lafayette, I just need your phone number. We can talk about it. But I'm enjoying it for a lot of other reasons, and probably for the reasons that I probably shouldn't enjoy that movie, but or that reasons that everyone else is giving it a pass. And I think, and that's not a bad thing. And it's okay if everyone enjoys it. It's a fine film. I like it a lot. And as I said, I think it's definitely carving out a spot in my little darkened soul, my jaded and darkened soul. I had to wet this a little bit because it was acting funky. Why is it doing that? Sometimes when when the brushes give me a hard time, especially these brushes, I'll dip it in water just to get it, because it looks like the ink is crusting. I have some fans blowing all over the place, and I'm sure it's not helping the brush stay optimally moist. If the movie primarily focused on that, then I would have been walking out super jacked. The actual VP character was meh. I said too much. You're probably right. And a lot of people said that he was a little bit how to say it, there. I bet the Soul Stone is in Wakanda. All those trips to the astral plane to talk to the older souls in the VP. Oh, that's interesting, Mike. I didn't think about that. But then, what does? Oh, that's right. But then why wouldn't that be in the possession of Doctor Strange? Isn't he doing all kinds of astral plane stuff too? And then doesn't the Soul Stone go to Adam Warlock, or is that just we're just assuming that? What do you guys think about this so far? Thank you, Wafrop. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Isaac. Me because that movie story Wakanda should be the richest, most secure place on the earth, and it told such a small story. As for the art, that's good. I don't know, man. I think that's what I like about it too. I like that it's a smaller story. I really don't need it to be always about. And maybe this is not what you're talking about, but this is how people have kind of used that commentary to phrase it. I don't need it to always be about the infinity gems and all that stuff. I like the idea that it's. See, it's funny. Yeah. I don't know. I got a funny feeling that it was big enough for that kind of government talk. But I like your thinking on that stuff. I'm glad that you're not being sucked into it necessarily just because, like everybody else is. I'm glad that people are being critical, at least. I mean, and it could still be good. It's just, it's not perfect, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. It was good. It was good enough for me. But like anything else, if you don't love it, then some people get offended. But that's all right. They'll be all right. Everyone will survive. No, it doesn't need to tie into any regular story, just bigger scope as him, as King Garnet is a great talking conversation with me. Okay. I see what's going on here. 3 out of 5. That's fair. That's fair, man. Kind of felt like the USA, the place that people want to flock to, but won't allow them in. And movies seem very relevant to today's society. I don't know, Mike. The only thing I don't like that actually. I feel like that's not a fair comparison. The difference is there's nothing that we have in the United States they don't have in Canada, that they don't have in France, that they don't have in Germany. There's nothing. It's funny how everybody gets on us. Everybody else is kicking their people out, and we do it, and it's like, oh, we're so terrible for it. Because if you think about it, we don't have magic technology to help everybody out. I don't know. I don't buy that. I don't like that point at all. You're right. People are liking it because of the hype. You can like it and still criticize it. Yes, that's true. I kind of felt nothing like the USA. It was clearly secluded on purpose and no one in it at all because the secret. Right. It was a secret place with magic, Eternian technology. There is no comparison. I don't understand why everybody's saying that, because even if you wanted to stretch it that way, we couldn't satisfy that. We don't have the technology to heal people in a day from a gunshot wound in the back. Sorry. Kind of like Singapore. Yeah, that's true too, Lafayette. I think that's true. Yeah, I don't like that. No offense to you, brother. I'm just saying, because it's not the only time I've heard that. I'm like, come on. Like, it's not fair to lump it all like that, because literally there's nothing that we have here that can't be gotten from anywhere else. Yeah, but it's a secret because of what they have, not because I don't know. Forget I said it. Too much. I can't say stuff without going into spoilers. Yeah, but the comparison's soft, man. You can't really say that it's the same thing, because we don't have the technology that they offer in that fictitious film. It's we're not even talking about the same. It's not apples to apples. No, no, again, I don't know. Who wants to go there? It's a secret because they want technology to themselves, because they feel in the wrong hands it would create more chaos. Which is true, by the way. Can you imagine? Can you imagine vibranium technology in the hands of a crazy dictator or ISIS? I don't know. That's another thing about that movie that disturbed me to some degree. It was the idea of this, that everybody feels. The conclusion of that was like, gosh, I don't know that if you really fix any of the world's problems that way, because the bad guys are going to get that too. All right. So, how long have I been on? An hour? I don't want to be on any more than an hour. Right, Lafayette. That's the other point too. That's what we said earlier. Um, I don't know. I said something earlier that sounded like what you just said. Let's talk about how much I hate BBS. Can't go wrong with that. I'm gonna have to put a spoiler warning on this video, on the title. Was the export. That's true, Lafayette, and I think they maybe they maybe they invest in Korean gambling casinos. You can tell I'm getting a little fatigued when I have a little less precision in the work. That's a great point, Lafayette. Great point. Touché. You've touched me. You've touchéed me. Alright, so this brush is garbage now. I did something wrong to it. I don't know what I did. I just snipped one little feather point hair and it's gone to garbage. Yeah, I'm not completely happy with this piece anymore, but oh well. No, I think you raised good points. I'm not sure that I still would have enjoyed that movie as much, but this brush is garbage. Oh, it's gotten terrible. I wouldn't have enjoyed that movie as much because that's about the same as trying to understand George Lucas's Star Wars Episode 1. But it has, your points have merit for sure, and that's probably one of the things that's kind of maybe in my subconscious was like eating at me, because there was some points I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Man, Lafayette, why are you getting so nasty? Hurt my heart, man. No, I don't like the movie. I'm just kidding. I still like the movie. I don't care. Alright. So the main man is all his... I'm going to switch to the other brush because this one is bothering me. I think I snipped it too close. I don't know where that would have happened. Or did I snip it at all? I don't even know if I didn't even think I snipped it that far. Oh, that's... I consider that too, Lafayette. That was a thought of mine at one point. I was like, Okay. Overall, I'm okay with this. But I'm not totally excited about it. Alright. So, what I've been doing lately is including some sort of minor little background element. And I think what I'm going to try it with is a sheet of this here. As long as I can get it to be equidistant on all sides, I can live with this. There is, what do I do with my pens? They're all my other, oh wait, I can use this. Let's see. How much would it cost? Price range. Never been to a convention, so no idea. Something like this, I'd probably charge somewhere around $250. That's about $250. It has the same punch on the other side. Has to be almost the same. There we go. So now, something I can do. I'm going to add some washes to this real quick. Shake off this brush a little bit. I happen to have it looks good? I know, man. Just a bit of a wash in here. I think I need a little more water in my ink. Lobo looks good. Right on. Damn, Lafayette, you just destroyed that movie in one fell swoop. That's okay though. That's all right. You know, it's still a good movie. It's still fun. To your point, if you're cool with that kind of, you know, situation, went too far off the radar. um, you know, you probably would still enjoy the fact that it's still, got some action in it, despite my conversation about it. I have some paper here. Let's soak some of it up. There we go. I'm adding water to my wash mixture. So I feel like I did something wrong. Christine says, looks dope. Love watching the process from beginning to end. What? Were you watching it on Instagram too, Christine? Am I pronouncing your name right? I'm sure it's Christine. Okay, so and smash them together. So that said, Lafayette, what are your thoughts going into? I mean, I imagine that must be good going into Infinity War, especially with the Russo brothers working together, right? The Russo brothers. Imagine that should be a good thing then. See, someone earlier said that. Here, I'm gonna show you what I mean. Notice? Oh, it did bleed a little. Very minor. Again, it's not a cure too. Oh, serendipity. Oh, snap, girl, what's up? Oh my goodness. Glad you made it. Try some over here. Infinity War will be cut and dry, just a fun comic movie because we already know the plot. It's really about how well the characters come together. Some schmutz on the brush. It's all right. Let's bring some. That makes Batman's eyes pop real good. Real good. Really well. Use English, Elliot, please. Something wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. Alright. Got that cooking. Wait, so do we think that vibranium is the soul stone? Is that what we're postulating here? This doesn't make sense at all. It's like you said there's something. Okay, this is actually working out really well, putting in the washes. Here, a little bit over here, and a bit right. Oops, damn, keeping my hand inside. How about? Okay, we need some up in his face, right? Because he's too pale up there. Well, now that I'm adding all these tones down here, let's put some here, some there, under the nose, here and here, and a little bit on the edges of his mouth and along the side of his face here. Maybe, just maybe, I'll put a good dose of it throughout here. Now you're being nasty, Lafayette. That's hilarious. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, that's where it came from. It affected the plants that way. And it's what they can consume. So, if it's a plant thing, I don't know. I think there might be something to that. It doesn't matter. Alright. That is not too bad, guys. And because I started this way, I'm going to go ahead and try. I'm going to add a little bit of red. Well, I'll use that other thing I used yesterday. I'll put a little bit of red in his eyes. These eyes. These eyes. Not bad for a little Puerto Rican from the Bronx. Well, I'm not little, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, snap! I think you want to jump back, smack somebody, mama. Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm excited. I'm excited because it's just a simple, goofy movie. So, pumped up. Woo! This came out tight. Man, I'm really happy with this. What do you guys think? What do you guys say? Are we in good? Are we in good shape? Maybe I should add some of this tone in the gloves too. Darker tone, heavier wash. Looks good, Crusher? Right on. Yeah, it does look fun. I love those movies. I'm telling you. I love how goofy it is. How we got into his Uber because he drank. He's so stupid. You just ain't right, bro. You got troubles, Lafayette. You want it, Christine? Oh, I wish I could give it to you. I gotta sell it. I gotta feed my family. But if I could, I would. All right. If anybody is interested in it, please DM me. You know what? I'm gonna give you guys my email address. If that helps you guys out. Let me push this to the side slightly. Oh, there's still some spots on here that need to be dried up a little. There we go. That worked. If you guys need to hit me up, you can hit me up at Elliot@jerkmongerart.com. You can email me there, or you can message me on Instagram. It's probably up. To be honest, it'll probably be easier to contact me on Instagram, but like fostering a pet. You are stupid. I love it. I love it. You clown. You clown of 1,000 clowns. You know what I'm gonna do too? I'm gonna add a little love up in her. Make a little dark in the edge. A little dark here. And then maybe a little dab will do ya. Right in there. Nice. Oh, that's something right there. I gave him a iris, so yeah, this is pretty fun. Okay, all right. Everything's drying nicely. All right. Well, guys, thanks so much. It's now an hour 35 minutes into this. So I did this in 2.5 hours or so. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm really grateful to you guys for hanging out with me. It's pretty fun, and I'm glad that. Thanks for the conversation. It was also fun. Sorry if we spoiled something for you. I'll make sure that I change the title a little bit to reflect some minor spoilerage. And smoke from the cigar. Well, you don't really draw smoke. You have to do like a wash. Well, let me see. You can't draw smoke. You can do this. Here. I'll add some water to this. That might work. It actually looks pretty cool. Probably dry a little darker than that, to be honest. So maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. A little more right in here. Nice suggestion, Isaac. Nice suggestion. Whatever you said there makes YouTube want to block it out, Lafayette, but spoil. I ruined the entire movie and now people will probably unsubscribe. Yes, you do. Sucketh. Thanks a lot, Lafayette. You ruined my show. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, you enjoy the art, please hit the thumbs up and give me a comment below. Tell me what you think about it after the video is posted. Also, I also want to encourage you guys to subscribe if you like the work and you enjoyed it. Let me get to the other side here. And let's see here. Yeah, so if you enjoy the work, by all means, subscribe and we'll get to hang out some more. And try to think of other things to talk about here. Not much. But anyway, but thank you guys. I really sincerely appreciate you guys hanging out with me and being part of this. And I'm excited. There's a lot of good things coming, and the more of this I do, the more I can create content for other things like the Patreon and things like that. So I'm going to be focusing a little more on my, from Patreon's perspective, on my JERKMONGER comic, but I think that'll be a good thing. I think that we'll be able to, do some fun stuff there. There's gonna be a lot of video where I'm gonna be creating characters in the computer and doing some of that sort of thing. And that will be the stuff that you'll see there. I'm also going to be giving out, on a certain tier, you get a digital sketchbook, and it's going to be fun, guys. So if you want to be part of that, awesome. Like the video, and all that good stuff. So, deuces. Talk to you guys later.